So it takes a very special person to turn that vision into reality. And we know it's not all roses. So let's keep it 100. What have been some of the real challenges that have really tested you down to the core and have really tested that vision?
So I've been to Ghana 4 times. So that was just the first trip I broke down. The second trip, I think it's so important to understand that some of us are coming so emotionally unbalanced because we're thinking, oh, we got to get away. We're going to go back to Africa, our land, our people, that we can make dumb decisions. And so one of the bad decisions I made was to buy land outright from Cost Estates through a land liaison. And because I had a land liaison, I didn't follow my land consultant's instructions on getting a survey and a lands commission search first, because I was so hyped. Because remember, my vision is land, right? I know. My vision is land, and I was like, I need land so I can build. So come to find out, there's no water, no electricity, but it was so affordable. I was like, give me 6 plots, and I didn't do my
like literally 6 plots. You were like, literally, give me 6 plots. Wow.
Give me 6 plots. And I didn't do my due diligence because, first of all, being emotionally unstable, because I'm so excited, right? And second of all, I'm thinking I have a land liaison where people know what they're doing. But that combination, I'm being emotionally unbalanced and trusting people that don't know what they're doing and buying land outright, horrible combination. Horrible. And so that's when my bad experiences started, because now we're being told, oh, you'll have your stuff in 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. Then you're not even communicating with us. Because I went through a repatriation group. It was like 80 of us. So it's like a whole bunch of people all together. And 80 went down to like, I think there's 30 now, because people were so discouraged. And because keeping your word is important to us over here in the States. Honoring your contracts is important to us in the States. And so every time a day went by, every meeting that was missed, people were just losing hope and just falling off. And I would have left and said, keep my money, but I paid outright. So I'm like, dang, let me just go. They have my money. So I'm just gonna ride it out. And man, it led to me doing videos exposing the unprofessional and unethical operation, and which led to me being assaulted, like physically assaulted by one of the representatives, because folks, I found out my land, like 2 of the 6 plots didn't even exist. And I had to find out by flying here, because I was asking for my paperwork while I'm in the States. I don't want to fly over there and it's not right. They wouldn't give me it. I said, this is insane. They gave it to someone else though that didn't pay, but they wouldn't give it to me. So I ended up flying over there, and that's when I found out that 2 of my 6 plots didn't even exist. I get to the office, they're trying to work it out, and that's when I see one of the representatives, and I purposely try to avoid confrontation or even a conversation. So I was editing and I put my earphones in. He came and grabbed my face and said, look at me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what? You literally grabbed my face and like ripped my head around to look at you. And then I had to like hit his hand off, but then he grabbed me. It's just a whole, and I have a video on it. It's a whole thing, and I break it down specifically. But that's how, when you say real, it got really real to the point where I got assaulted. And I have 2 properties. So that's one land in Central Region, but the beachfront property is through a whole different, I got that from a developer directly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's that link for your video detailing that experience is right there in the description below, guys. So you can definitely check that out. I'm definitely empathizing with you, and I'm going to be very honest. What you just said, unfortunately, does not surprise me. Ooh. From what I know about some aspects of the cultural landscape in Ghana. Not all, not most, not many, but some aspects of the cultural landscape. You being a woman, maybe being from the West, right? All of these cultural dynamics that play into how women are perceived, how Westerners are perceived. And then even as you said, right, like not making the eye contact. The truth is, you know, in Ghana, oftentimes you can do things that have very little to no recourse that you couldn't do in other places. And let me be honest, if you come from a place like America, oftentimes, whether you're Black, white, Asian, gay, straight, Muslim, Christian, Jew, atheist, a lot of times there are mechanisms in place to deal with levels of discrimination, levels of things that may happen. It may not work the best, but there's things in place, right?
Right.
In Ghana, a lot of times, depending on who you are, especially if you're somebody who is with clout, you can do a lot of times what you feel like doing, and there's little to no punitive recourse. So it doesn't surprise me that that happened. I'm empathetic with you because that right there in itself is enough to make you want to, if you got a shank on you, make you stab somebody. And that would have been a bad, you know, would have been watched. Today in Ghana news, an American came and unfortunately stabbed a really, I'm sorry, listen, it's not funny. It's unfortunate. Here's a question. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for people watching.
Okay.
You should have known better. What do you have to say to that?
Why would I think I'm unsafe in the motherland? Like, why? I've been free. I've been traveling the world for years. And I come to Africa, where I'm descended from, and I'm expected to be on guard at all times. I don't understand. I'm supposed to be safe here. Why should I be on guard around my own people? Explain that to me, please.
Lessons that you learned from that experience.
That I will not be handling my business by myself anymore. You know, it was, my whole YouTube page is cute. Oh, she's vlogging her whole experience, documentation, cute. But now I know the culture, like you said, the hole in the system. Now that I know more, I'm going to change my strategy to where, okay, I'm not going to get my face bashed in, so I'm going to hire someone to handle all this for me. Because, as you said, if that's the system, let me be wise now. Let me be wise and say, let's start applying what this culture is saying. Because at the end of the day, I'm more valuable than land. I'm more valuable than any commodity. So I'll just go ahead and hire someone to do it. The vision will continue, but I will not be the face like I was previously.
Wow. And that's a really hard lesson to learn. And I know that a lot of our brothers and sisters are like, that ain't Africa. That's listen, folks, we ain't gonna talk about Ghana versus nobody. I mean, that, you know, those unfortunate realities can happen anywhere. We hate that in today's time where there's so much messaging, particularly messaging coming from certain aspects of Ghana, you know, saying, come back home, come do this, come do that. And then you have people in the diaspora that respond to that. And then this is one of the unfortunate experiences that happens. You know, it's yeah. I mean, I think this video is a sober reminder that wherever you go in the world, people still gonna be people in. And especially when you have people living in an environment to where there is a gap culturally, you know, a Black American, when they see other Black Americans in America, we have this sense of unconscious recognition that we are the same, right? And it's even demonstrated when we may be like that.
My brother, we don't even know each other, but
I see you. And I think this really exemplifies, right? It really kind of burst a bubble on that illusion that everywhere people go, we've had the same Black experience. Because I mean, granted, right? This can happen anywhere. I'm in America. I mean, there's some place I ain't gonna go to because if I show up, it's like, where you from? Not from here. No, let me go because I don't want to know stuff. But there's a difference, right? Like when we come as people of African descent who are raised in America or as Black Americans, we come to Ghana. Oftentimes, we're not seen as, you're not from Ghana, you're not from Africa, you're from America.
Right.
You're from America.
Right. They don't. So I learned that we're not seen as African. Like they know, they have an idea that, okay, of course, people came from Africa, but they don't look at us as African. I was in my Airbnb and I said, oh, do you think I'm African? She said, no, you're African American. I'm like, you don't think I'm African at all? She's like, I understand long ago you came from Africa, but you are not African. And I was a little hurt. I said, wow, where can we go? You know? And so then I learned that most of them don't even know what we went through. They just know that we went on a ship and we went to a different place. They don't know the 400 years of. They don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, no wonder there's such a gap, because they don't even know what we went through. And we come here excited and thinking that we're home and this is a safe place, but they're thinking like, time to get their money. Foreigner, money time.
And the truth is, I think there's a lot of similarities even in the broader American culture, right? Just imagine, right? Walk with me to that dude that is American, but he has but his first language is, let's say, tree, right? So he has an accent, and he's like, "Hey, where you from?" I'm from Indiana. It's like, nah, where you really from? I'm from Indiana, Indianapolis. You ain't from no, I'm black like you. You black, but you African.
You ain't from.
You different. And I think that the more exposure we have, the more expanded our understanding is of blackness. And that's even something I realized, because I when I came to Ghana to move, I had a whole identity struggle. I ain't gonna get too far into it because it's not necessary to talk about, but I was like, who am I, right? Am I Black American? Am I Ghanaian? I don't really know who I am. But I realized that Ghana, for me, became a place where it's okay to be different, because everybody really is accepted. And what you're saying is true, right? We don't know each other's stories. And because we don't know each other's stories, we don't have value for the similarities in, our stories and each other. And I think that, again, it goes back to exposure, because as I've kind of moved into different circles in Ghana, people who are more exposed, people who travel, you realize that their understanding and conceptualization of what it means to be African expands the more somebody is exposed. The less somebody is exposed, the less expanded that is. Because Africa has how many countries, right? And even if you take somebody from South Africa who's a white South African, people don't maybe view them as African, or even somebody who's a North African, right? Morocco or somewhere, they're like, it's North Africa. You ain't really, you ain't really.
You haven't been through the struggle.
Yeah, and it's the same way we do, right? Sometimes if you have a limited understanding of what it means to be black, it's like you talk like this. You don't really know the struggle. You ain't grew up eating hot sauce and syrup sandwiches and
peanut butter and banana.
Yeah, whatever it is. You ain't really black,
Bologna with mayonnaise.
Now I ate that though. Now I ate some bologna and mayonnaise.
I couldn't stand it. I'm like, can we get something different today?
No, man, you gotta let it fry up and then poke the little hole in the middle.
We didn't even get the fry.
Oh Lord.
On the bread.
The struggle bus. So
but I know one.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to say was, if I didn't come to Ghana with an open mind. So I listened to, his name is Joshua. He has like an indigenous retreat in West Africa in like the jungle. And I said, I just listened to him. And he would say, Africa doesn't need help. It needs contribution. Because we tend to have a savior complex, because we were kind of brainwashed to think if you go to Africa, you got to feed the babies, you got to bring water, but no, you got to come with the correct mentality. I think that's most important overall, because if I wasn't open to learn how the culture works, I would have never came back after my first time. Because if I'm expecting it to be flowing like the Westerns, like it is in the West, which I was at first, but if I wasn't willing to change my mentality, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I wouldn't have an adventure to no type of land, because I would have been too shocked and too closed-minded to listen, to adapt. I wouldn't even be in Ghana.
What keeps you motivated to persist in your turning your vision into a reality, in spite of the very real and abrasive cultural shocks that you've experienced?
I'm gonna be real with you, Tim. I'm too deep in it to turn back.
Hey!
That was supposed to be deep. That was not supposed to be deep. I'm too deep in it to turn back. Literally, I was asked this question last week, and my answer was like, I have a vision, you know, and the vision must continue. But now after what happened to me, I'm like, I can't go nowhere. I'm in too deep. I am in too deep. Now after this project, like it's a 3-phase project. It might not, it most likely will not be in Ghana, because now my mind is open. This is a good thing. My mind's open to coming back and investing in the States, because it was closed. Like, and I learned loyalty for what? I know people don't want to hear this, but I was like, why am I loyal? Loyal to who and loyal to a country for what? Why am I loyal, Leslie? There's 54 different countries, and there's still the states I could invest in, because there's no way I'm going to cut the states out of my life. This is where the power of the exchange is. And so now I'm open to investing back in the States, and open to investing in other African countries as well.